Hi everybody, and welcome to this 50k celebration live stream episode. We're starting 3 minutes early here just to make sure that we get the audio right, the image right, all the technical details right here. So by all means, if you have any questions or suggestions for topics today, please fire that away in the comment section. And we'll see if we can look at them today. Fabian, Leishat, Bloodaxe, welcome. Les Fuller, welcome. Sud Hanva Bhatt from India, welcome. Zeus 1117, welcome. Arthur, hello. Katroma, Natapak, welcome. Congrats. Right, welcome everybody to this 50k celebration special live stream episode. Yeah, so today is a big day, or not just today, but a few days ago we exceeded that magical 50,000 subscribers mark on my YouTube channel, and oh boy, what a ride it's been. Oh boy. Yeah, so let's see here if we have the technical details again. So I pre-recorded a little piano melody here for the intro. Right, so today we have a few different topics to discuss, and prior to this live stream, I asked a few questions, if you had questions or suggestions for topics for today's video too. Because I know there's a lot of questions regarding my journey here on YouTube and my journey as a music producer and sound designer and creative person. And you can see here in, maybe it's a little bit hard to see, but if I expand the view here a little bit, we have these small topics to deal with today. Of course, we're going to do the 50k subscriber celebration, which is throughout this episode. And as promised on the Instagram and on the YouTube shorts here, we are doing 2 times the Falcon VST giveaway during this live stream. So make sure you write a lot of comments here or questions in the chat, because my daughter is going to pick 2 of you randomly from the chat as the winners for a free copy, a free license of the Falcon VST instrument. And for those of you who doesn't know what Falcon is, it's really one among the top of the line, like sampler synthesizers on the market. Really great all-round library with tons of expansions if you need to expand your sound libraries. And it also has a lot of great onboard effects, and one of the best sounding like granular engines and time stretching engines. Yeah, it's a really small font here. Let's see if I can pushed it out to some other. But anyways, so we're doing the 50K celebration here. I'm super thankful for all of you for subscribing to my channel, for watching my videos, for all the continued support during all these years. Some of you has been around for... Hello, daughter. Yes, she's probably running in the background there. Some of you have been around my channel for quite a few years, and some of you might be new to my channel, so I'm going to do a little brief talk here on my journey on YouTube, or yeah, how the journey has been so far. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're also going to talk about the 50% off to all my online courses. And yeah, some of you might know I have courses in Logic Pro. We have courses in Bitwig Studio, in the Bitwig Masterclass. Then I have ambient courses, both for Logic Pro and for Bitwig Studio. And we also have a music theory course, which is in early access. But there's, I think, 14 episodes now. And we talk about everything from, like, from the really core basics of music theory to more advanced topics like modes and scales, and so you're going to learn a little bit of everything in the course. And I'm teaching both working in the piano roll and also a little bit of sheet music. So you get a lot of content packed in that course. And if you want to grab one of my courses, currently at 50%, you can find them at edumorningdewmedia.com or go to my store.morningdewmedia.com, and here you can see all the different courses available. And as I said, it's 50%, so it's like the best time to jump on any of the courses. Hi there, Amy. Welcome to the live stream. Isomatic, welcome. LMC, welcome. Are all dads as old as you? Yeah, we're all old. Zeus, oh, you didn't have time to dive into Bitwig yet. It's never too late. You really need to jump on the sweetness of the modulators. Ableton plus VSTs. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're all just tools. You can basically use any type of DAW as long as you get your message across, your musical message across, so to speak. Right, so the topics of today, the 50K subscriber celebration, talking about my courses. We did a little short introduction here into the courses, which are 50% off, so make sure you check them out during this 50K celebration. And these offers will end on Sunday, I think, the 28th of October. So you have a few days to find out if you want to dive into any of the courses. And I also got a question here from Zeus1117, which is also here in the chat. Hello there. Regarding finding time for creativity, because with life as a dad, I mean, I'm a father of 3. I have 3 kids. 1 16, 1 13, and a 3.5-year-old. So you have to juggle that with music, creativity, your work, and everything else. So what are the best habits or tricks to get the most out of your free time in terms of music production? How to be more productive or try to funnel the creativity into specific time slots, if possible at all? Fabian, it's hard to decide which DAW to use, but can highly recommend your Bitwig course. Yeah, thanks a lot. Glad you like it. Are you struggling selecting which kind of DAW to use? Devil Driver, thanks you. Tackar, gratulerar. Thanks. Sundvabat, I love your ambient Bitwig course. Awesome. Have you finished the course? Or are you like halfway through? Yeah, so I think we're gonna begin with talking about my journey here on YouTube, because we have a lot of stuff to cover today, and it's already been 80 minutes. It's always hard, this, I mean, you do all this planning beforehand for the live streams. Or sometimes I just shoot and go live, like 5 minutes, decide 5 minutes before, and then I go live. But today I actually thought a little bit about what topics to talk about. But as always, it's a little bit hard when you jump on the live streams and you get carried away. You get carried away in one kind of discussion, and then, yeah, things happen. Yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit about finding time for creative tasks, because I know it's extremely hard. I feel the pain trying to find the time for creative tasks. But right, yeah. So first hand, let's talk about my my little YouTube journey here, because we are celebrating 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Again, very much a big thanks to you, because it's all thanks to you out there, because you made my channel grow, and yeah, by watching my videos you supported me a ton. And of course, those of you who bought my courses and my sound packs and preset packs, a million thanks. So basically, I began this YouTube journey in, I think it was officially like the real ramp, or the real like effort I put into creating videos and stuff. I started like in 2017. But if you look back on my channel, you can see it's a pretty old channel. I think I started this channel in like 2007, 2008 something. But then it was like an idle channel for the first 10 years. I made maybe 1 or 2 videos playing like Final Fantasy piano pieces or something. And I had some like, yeah, soft piano pieces. Then again, I started making more effort into creating the videos in 2017. I think I can actually maybe show you the analytics, because it really shows what happened throughout the ages, so to speak. Yeah, so this is the analytics for my YouTube journey, so to speak, regarding viewership. And if you look at the beginning here, back in, it's 2007, and you can see we have very little views here. And then in somewhere here, I think, 2017, November 2017, I started to make Bitwig videos. And I really wanted to share my knowledge in music production and sound design, because I've been working like 10 years or 15 years prior to this date with composing for games and film and media projects and stuff. So, and I tried to like find what kind of niche was suitable to look into, and I saw that there was this new DAW called Bitwig, and there wasn't really many people making videos on Bitwig at the time. I think maybe Polarity started around the same time. But yeah, so that was the little like a breaking point, starting to make a few Bitwig videos, and yeah. And then of course, if you look back on those videos, I hardly disregard you to go back that far in time on my YouTube channel watching those really old videos, because they really suck big time. It's exactly like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast tells you, you think your videos are great, but they really suck. That's like the truth. And now if I look back and like compare the videos that I make today, which are like hyper focused and yeah, a lot more like focused and better planned, hopefully. And then compare them to the older videos, it's like incomparable. But yeah, you have to start somewhere, and you have to build confidence, you have to build knowledge how to do this, because doing YouTube videos and doing live streams is totally different than just making music. And those of you here in the live stream, maybe some of you have been doing YouTube videos, let me know in the chat here. But those of you that have done videos, you know how much effort and how much work it is to prepare a video and like plan, prepare, make the content, and then edit the video to make it comprehensible. Tamashi, hi, live after a long time. Tamashi trying. Yeah, I think I've seen you on some previous live stream. It's been a lot this year for me. It's been like a real roller coaster. Maybe we'll talk about that later here today, but it's been a real roller coaster for me this year. The shy, not at all. I've not come across any bad videos on your channel. Oh, thank you. Glad you enjoy most of them. Top quality. Really appreciate all your hard work. I've learned so much. Kevin Hopp. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, it's a really privilege to reach so many people and across so many nations and all over the globe. I mean, we have people from India, we have people from Canada, Australia, and I also see that on the people who on the customers who purchase my courses. It's like a total diversity across the globe, and that's the like beautiful thing here about the teaching, if you will, on YouTube. So let's see. Yeah, so I was doing like some Bitwig videos and also Logic videos, and yeah, you can see we basically flat out here around 2020, and then we have a little bit more spikes here, and yeah, I think these are really large spikes that you see in viewership here. They're probably my like M1 videos or the piano tuning videos, because it was a really hot topic, the M1 Max or the M1, the Apple Silicon, when they were released, and obviously I knew it was going to be a like hot topic, so I obviously jumped on the ship, because as you've probably seen here in my videos, I use a lot of like Mac devices and Apple devices. I'm not a super fan of their like business model and stuff, but the OS operating system is pretty solid in my opinion. I've been using PCs a lot in the past, and I've just had a lot of troubles with PCs and audio interfaces, so eventually I jumped on trying out some of the Macs and running Logic, and then since then I haven't had that much problem actually. So to me it's not it's not a lot to think about, because especially when you're doing a lot of work and working with tons of different clients, you need to be able to rely on the hardware and the software that you use. And yeah, it's been very reliable to rely on the Macs. Kartoma, Yeah, awesome. Thanks for grabbing the Logic course. I'm planning on doing a few more episodes on that one too, especially on the various Logic Pro instruments. So there'll be some episodes coming soon here. And oh, by the way, if you have any suggestions on some course or some kind of topic you want me to deal in one of the courses or a new upcoming course, please let me know in the chat here too. I actually was very fond of like trying out the iPads, and I bought one of these really the big ones. I think it's 12-inch, and I've had a lot of great use of it for like designing with Procreate, obviously, doing web design, and yeah, a lot of like small creative tasks. The iPad is great for that. But if you ever tried Logic Pro on the iPad, I feel sorry for you because it's not a very good experience. Yeah, obviously they had a great intention of porting Logic Pro to the iPad, but it really doesn't work very well because even if you have a 12-inch screen, it's really hard to like navigate and. Oh, sorry. Les Fuller, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that screen. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so here you can see my analytics. Thank you, Leia. It's very great to see so many people here join in on the live stream today, and yeah, we're gonna talk about the giveaway too. So maybe I should mention it a little bit more often here in the live stream. But we are giving away 2 Falcon VST instruments today, and to participate, you just comment in the comments field or in the chat here, write something in the chat, because that's the way to participate in the giveaway. And my daughter in a few rooms next here, she's gonna pick out 2 of you to be the lucky winners in the giveaway. You're watching the stream on a Samsung tablet. Awesome. So what's the model? Yeah, but the whole Mac OS experience is a lot better than the PC experience, in my opinion, because like setting up a web server on the Mac, it's like super easy, and in my opinion, you have a lot better of control over how things work. And they've had like these sandboxed apps for ages, so it's pretty easy to install and uninstall apps as you want. You don't have like files spread out all over the place. Windows is better these days, I know it's better, but it was a hassle back in the ages. Yeah, so this is the evolution of my YouTube channel. And as you can see, we're now at 50,146 subscribers, and this is the beginning, the very beginning. We're showing the lifetime of my YouTube channel, the viewership during the lifetime. And I started the channel at 2007, then in 2017, starting to focus more effectively and more actively on the channel. And you can instantly see the growth happening here, because I was doing more consequent episodes. And then obviously, after sucking at making videos for a long time, like Mr. Beast always tells you, you start to get better at doing the videos, and yeah, more consequent, keeping at it, making more videos, and yeah. And then we have these peaks with like a little bit hard to pinpoint the peaks here, but around 2003 we have some peaks, and in 2022, and that's the M1 videos I did, and the M1 Max videos, and maybe the piano video, because yeah, it's one of my all-time high highly viewed videos. As you can see here, if we go below here, the top content on my channel. We have the piano video, which is totally... I didn't expect this one to gain that much attraction, but apparently it's like one of my... or the top video on my channel. And then we have the Apple M1 and film scoring, episode 1. I had expected this one to gain a little bit of attraction, but the piano one here, I thought that's just gonna be one of my, like, yeah, sad efforts, so to speak. But yeah, and this one is a big cinematic chords, like Hans Zimmer, also 137,000 views. So we have a few selected videos with quite, for me at least, a high view count. And then obviously there's plenty of videos that has a lot less view count. But as you can see, not many of these top videos are they are not Bitwig related, they are not like DAW specific related. Just to give you an impression of what content here on my channel has really gained the attraction or driven subscribers to the channel. It's probably these like top videos that has driven the most amount of subscribers to my channel. No, this page is not visible for you on YouTube. This is my personal page on YouTube. My personal analytics page. But I have nothing to hide here. I just want to show you how things work here on YouTube and what kind of talking about my journey here on YouTube. And Leia, you can come here. You can come over here and tell me the winners later in the episode. Yeah, the goal is obviously always going to be a higher number, but I don't look at these numbers too much or pay too much attention to like daily viewership or like this. You can see this like views last 48 hours. Because this is always going to be like up and down and up and down. But it's all about like the long-term journey for me. Because I made a like personal investment to... because I always loved to teach. And I've been teaching at some local schools here from time to time. Back like 18 years back. And I really love to teach and... yeah, I've been through a lot and worked as a composer for games and media, as I said earlier here in the episode. Maybe we should also look. I have like a... let's see. I'm surfing on the side. I'm surfing on the side. It's a little bit hassle here to use dual screens with the Wacom, because usually when you have one screen you get like this smaller area to work on, but as soon as you add more screens they also spread out on the tablet, so the XY axis of moving around here gets a little bit tricky. Oops. Yeah, so I'm trying to find my like credits page here. Right, so here we have it. It's called Yrkeshögskola YH in Sweden. I don't know how that translates to, but it's not a university, it's similar. Sunva Butt, do you think people use Bitwig for film scoring and why not? The obvious reason for not using Bitwig to score films is that you don't have like in application video support. You can of course use like sync up the DAW with other solutions and maybe use a plugin or something, but to me, I always go to like Logic Pro or Studio One if I'm gonna do a film scoring, or Ableton, because they have the video support built in, and that's really good point of using Logic Pro, because you can instantly burn. You can burn the audio, or the stuff that you composed. You can burn that into the video very easily from Logic Pro. So here we have like my credits page at Morning Dew Media, and here, if you ever want to look up what I've been working on in the past, what kind of clients I worked with, you can always go to this page. And here you can see I worked with Paradox Arctic, which is a branch of Paradox Entertainment, Norra Skogsägarna, yeah. Peak Games Turkey, which is a Turkish game company. Come to Play Israel, I worked with them for like 10 years, I think, composing for a lot of like themed levels for their games. And then I did film scoring for AGP production in South Korea, Perlo Games, South Korea. And then we have a bunch of like Swedish companies. But the major brands are obviously Fisherman's Friend. I scored some like a Facebook related game some years back. And then we have Eon, Ålö, Systembolaget, IKEA, Brio, Apple, Eva, Scandia, Statoil. Yeah, so there's a lot of like companies that I made either sound design or scoring for. And then you can always go in here and look at the sound credits, game credits, and look up all the different games. Small mobile games and some PC games that I scored in the past. So that's a little bit about my past. I can just post a link here if you want to go there and have a look. How did they get the name for Morning Dew Media, Stuart Herzog? Well, it's actually related to one of the bands that I created with a friend back in 1944, I think it was, in the mid-90s anyway, called Embracing. And we released a few albums. You can look up the band on Spotify or some other streaming platform. And it's like death metal, progressive death metal something. And we did a few albums on a German, released a few albums on a German label. Yeah, it says we because I had my brother attached to the company for a while. I hired my brother, and I also had some other employees during the years. Nu ska vi se. Why haven't you been summoned into Cubase? Yeah, why haven't I been summoned into Cubase? Because I abandoned Cubase like 15, 20 years back. I did use Cubase for a lot of years, especially in the beginning. But yeah, I'm more fond of the workflow of Logic Pro, and also I think that the plugins and like the sound bundle that you get with Logic Pro is a lot superior compared to what you get with Cubase. It was a lot less good sounding stuff in Cubase. Yeah, it's a totally different vibe in the different bands I played during the 90s. But I was involved with a ton of different like death metal bands and black metal bands. Some of you might have known I played drums on like a cult album by the band Nagelfar called Vittra, their first album. And it became like a cult kind of hit. So it was fun to be part of that little adventure too. Yeah, it's weird, this notification stuff with YouTube. Sanva, did you press the notification bell and make sure that you have all the like ticks active? Yeah, if you ever like played around with Bitwig Studio or Ableton or Logic Pro and then you jump into Cubase, it definitely takes you 20 years back in terms of like workflow. Just a thing like creating a track in Bitwig Studio and adding an instrument. It's like you do all the things in one and the same place, and you can instantly understand how things are related. And if you want to make changes to an instrument, just press the track, change the instrument, add stuff to the chain of devices. It's very easy to get going with the more modern DAWs, in my opinion. Yeah, I also like Evergrey, and I'm very excited for Mike Portnoy coming back to Dream Theater, obviously. One of my all-time favorite drummers, and also a big inspiration to my own drumming. But the discussion always ends, if you talk Cubase, it always boils down to, but Hans Zimmer uses Cubase. Exactly. It's not yes, dude, it's not about knowing better. It's about feeling more comfortable with the tool. And I mean, if Zimmer feels comfortable with Cubase, fine. It's all about I mean, if he ever tried a DAW like a Bitwig or ever tried converting to Logic Pro, I'm very sure he would be pleasantly surprised. So it's never about knowing better, it's about what inspires you and what feels better for you. Your personal workflow. Yeah, it's always a discussion. It's always nice also to bring up the discussion of talking business models, because it's been a lot of like turmoil in, especially because everybody wants to convert to subscription from obvious reasons. They want to like attach the customers and to gain a constant cash flow to be able to do the upgrades. But in the past it always worked with like new customers, but now they apparently tell that to be able to drive the business they need constant cash flow from previous clients, although they already paid for the software. But it's like it's a balance, because I know it takes a lot of effort to make updates, and especially if you're making something for multiple OSs, and it's a lot of work to make a DAW. Yeah, I also used Reaper for a while, but I wasn't really fond of like the user interface in Reaper. Right, so let's see here. Yeah, so I also want to announce today that I've started to open up for coaching sessions. So there's been a lot of emails and contacts during the years there. I did a few one-on-one video sessions some years back, but it took a lot of time, and you have to prepare a lot prior to make it happen. And yeah, but now I made the decision to start offering coaching sessions, and there's actually a page that you can enter. If you go to edumorningjomedia.com, now if you want to hire me for a one-on-one coaching session, maybe you have problems with some music production related issue or sound design, or just want like a coaching on on your artistry, or yeah, then you can go here to edumorningmedia.com, go into coaching sessions, and at the bottom of this page you have a calendar. And currently you need to be signed up to one of my courses to be able to book one of these sessions. But as you can see, some of these are grayed out. That means that they are unavailable because it's the dates in the past. But yeah, but these two, they are just too close. You can only book like 2 or 3 days into the future. So here, if you want to book a session, these are obviously Swedish time. So if you live in another time zone, you need to convert this the time here to your specific time zone. But it's Grand Modern Time +1. Maybe I should write this somewhere. Yeah, I need to get the info there. But anyways, if you're signed in to the platform, you can book these sessions, and you will get a notification email on how to make the payment for the coaching session, and also the time and everything. And I have currently set these to 80 euros per session, plus VAT tax if you're within Europe. And every session is 60 minutes. So if you're interested in some guidance and musical guidance, maybe creative inspiration, or like building your personal brand, then I highly recommend you go to my edu.morningmedia.com and book up a coaching session. But as I said earlier, this is currently only available to members of Morning Dew Media Education. So if you're in any of the courses here, you can book a coaching session. But I am planning on opening up these coaching sessions to publicly, so to speak, but we'll see what happens here in the near future. And there's of course dates for open for November here. November, Tuesdays to Fridays. There's a few dates. So if you're interested in a coaching session, don't hesitate and jump in, and we get hooked up. Let's see. I think every DAW is made for serious composers these days, but they all have different like endpoints on what the developers want you to achieve with the platforms. But you can make film music, obviously not to video directly, scoring to video directly here in Bitwig, but you can obviously score to picture, or not to picture, but score music for picture with Bitwig. Best sound ever. Yeah, so this I'm trying out a new piano here from Pianoverse. It's an instrument from IK Multimedia, and I got to try out one of their new pianos called Black Pearl B200. So I'm trying a patch here called Jazz Club. Right, you use the Osmos as the main keyboard. Yeah, it's I wasn't deciding on using this the Osmos keyboard here for as the main keyboard, but it eventually just happened. Initially, I felt that the keys, obviously, it's a little bit strange to play this keyboard because you can wiggle the keys. But now, since I'm using this with the piano, we're not we don't have this like a wiggling pitch thing enabled. Name a famous composer using working in Bitwig. Well, not composer per se, but we have like Camo and Crooked, which is a pretty big name in the drum and bass industry. They are using Bitwig Studio. And we probably have a lot of other composers, but it's not about the names that use the products. It's about you. What do you want to use? It's up to you to decide what you want to use. And then if it's an infamous or famous or whatever, who cares? The only hassle with playing like a keyboard like this and having the microphone is that it picks up the like a mechanical noise. Right, so that's, yeah, we talked a little bit about this and that. And I think it's time to talk a little bit about the topic we got from Zeus 1117, finding time for creativity. How do you find time for creativity? Capture mode coming into Bitwig. Yeah, hopefully. I really like the capture function of Logic Pro, that you just you play anything and then you can just press Shift and R and the DAW has secretly recorded your performance and bam, you got the MIDI. It's a really lovely feature. Okay, so we have two winners of the Falcon VST. And thank you, Leia. This is my daughter, Leia. And the first winner of the Falcon VST is Nanook. Nanook, yeah. And the second winner is Sudhanva Bhatt. Congratulations on the Falcon VST. So you can get in touch with me here after the live stream, and I will make sure that you get your license for the VST instrument. Yeah, it's always a discussion what's the best DAW. My view on that is the best DAW is what's best for you and what suits your workflow and your perception on what's what gets your ball rolling, so to speak. Yeah, congrats a lot to cheers. Congrats to the Falcon VST. You're gonna have a blast. I hope you didn't have the instrument prior to this. I don't use a lot of Falcon, but I do use a lot of candy to get the ball rolling in the studio. Yeah, but we was talking about the Osmos synth, but yeah, So now it's been my like main keyboard for a few months, maybe a year already. Can't really tell, but it's been a long time. And now when I go over to these like traditional keyboards, it feels now these feel like weird and plastic. Yeah, it's really it's a really different experience. Yeah, so I've grown accustomed to playing this keyboard more and more, and I actually like it a lot. How come you eat so much sugar? That's a good one. Well, I usually don't do that. It's just for we're celebrating here today, okay? So instead of drinking Scotch whiskey, hint hint, we're eating candy and drinking Loka Crush. Loka. Right. What about some orchestral composition? Yes, dude. Do you find limiting? Do you find it limiting? What is limiting? Aha, okay, so the 61 keys. Well, I've grown accustomed to like using the octave shifting whenever I need to like play other areas of the keyboard, because usually when exactly, life's short, eat what you can, no champagne. I'll keep the champagne here for later. I need to pop a bottle. Yeah, but I mean, I used to have like these 88 keys keyboards. I actually have one of these. I have the 88 keys piano downstairs, and I also got one of these like folding pianos. Did you watch that video on the folding piano? I think it was some kind of Japanese, Chinese, like a no-name kind of brand. I can't even remember the brand, but it's actually quite playable. And yeah, my kids love it, and I have it downstairs in the kitchen, or the kitchen/living room, so I can flash out song ideas whenever. The lucky winners. Yeah, it's you, Nanook, and it's also Sudhanva Bhatt. Sorry for pronouncing your names. Yeah, Nanook, you won. There's my daughter telling you won. Stadon. Yeah, thanks for joining in today, and yeah, keep commenting. For all of you watching my live stream here today, keep commenting on the videos, because it really helps the channel grow, and it makes it possible for me to make more content for you out there, and yeah, hopefully help you out on your specific musical journey. So we talked about, or we were going to talk about, finding time for creativity, and I actually have a quite my own story to that. And like 20 years back, I think, I was working in the capital of Sweden called Stockholm as a project engineer, and it was at a place called Semco, and we were testing out electronic equipment and certifying like Chinese or brands from all over the world, certifying electronics equipment for for the Swedish and European market with the CE marketing and the S marketing, the Semco marketing. If you live here in Sweden or Europe, you have probably seen the CE marking on all types of electronics. And that's what you do at a place like Semco. But anyways, so there I was living in the capital of Sweden, and when you live in a big city, as you probably know if you live in a big city yourself, there's a lot of like travel time to and from work. So there wasn't a lot of like holes, so to speak, or pockets to let out the creativity. And prior to that, I lived in Sweden. I lived in Umeå, this little town up here where I live, in a small town called Holmgren, and there was a lot of more time to like focus on creative tasks because there wasn't a lot of like traveling time to and from work. So it was a really, really big change for me coming from like this calm town to the big city with a lot of like riding trains and stuff, and yeah, engineer and yeah, you calculate how much time you spend on travels, and I realized I spent like 8 hours at least on traveling. And yeah, it's like on the downside, I think it was like 12 hours something, yeah, maybe more each week. And when you really realize that you spend so much time on transports, which you could use on creativity instead, you really want to get away, at least if you're a creative person like me. Maybe I have ADHD, I probably have that, who knows. But yeah, so finding time for the creative work for me in that situation when I lived in Stockholm and working at Semco, not 8 hours a day, it was like 8 hours on a week, yeah. But anyways, the way for me to find the creativity there was I actually did a lot of that during like small pockets on my work days, because at Semco you prepare a lot of different projects in the weeks, and then some of these projects or tests that you put all these electronic devices into, they are going to run for like maybe 3 or 4 days. So when you've set up a lot of like different tests on a few different stations, you suddenly get a little pocket there doing nothing or planning. So there in my little office, I brought up note sheets, and I was transcribing Toto songs and yeah, composing basically on these small like pockets of free time at work, which you can or cannot do in depending on your on your work situation. But yeah, it was a way for me to get the creativity out. So yeah, so I had note sheets in the drawer, and as soon as I got a small pocket and a small like break on work, I picked up the note sheets, and then I was transcribing songs. And yeah, I think we were doing some kind of Toto show here in Umeå during that time. And that's why I bring up Toto as an example of songs that I transcribed, because I was going to play and sing some Toto tracks, and yeah, I had to practice some of these tracks. And how do you practice when you're at work? Well, the only thing you can do is like yeah, pick out the chords and stuff. And so that's how I got the creativity out during work. And then obviously, as soon as I got home, I was working on my solo album called Tired Tree during that time, which is a a sad little album, but yeah, you can check it out if you ever want to listen to some like West Coast rock pop with smaller progressive flares, so to speak. But yeah, nowadays to find the pockets for creativity, it's like if you only have like smaller pockets during the week, maybe you're working late hours and you maybe have 3 hours on a Friday evening or 2 hours on a Saturday evening or whatever. I would highly suggest that you do some planning prior to those like sessions, so that you have a little bit of like plan for what to do during those sessions. Because it's so easy. I know it happens to me also all the time that you get sucked into like sound design and fiddling with stuff that's not I mean it may be fun and it might end up into something useful, but eventually if you really want to like produce something and make songs, if that's your intention, maybe it's not, but if the intention is to make songs, I highly advise you to do a little bit of planning. So maybe you can like you can do a lot of planning in your mind, and also when you're at work, then plan what kind of like theme you're gonna write, what kind of music style. You can plan a lot of stuff. You can plan, listen to different music. Oh, you find a chord progression in that song, maybe pick that to that songwriting session that you have on your Friday evening or Saturday evening or whatever. So there's a lot of planning that you can do prior to those sessions. And then when you come in on Friday evening or Saturday evening, you have a little list of things pre-planned or things to pick from that you can work on that little time slot, so to speak. The time slots. So that's another thing that you can think about if you want to plan your creative sessions a little bit and get more out of those creative sessions. So how do you guys plan your creative sessions? Sunvabat, what's your favorite genre to listen to? I listen to a lot of different genres and a lot of different styles. Currently I'm listening to a lot of Anathema, and they have a new project called Weather Systems, which I really like. I really enjoy the sound and atmosphere of Anathema. It's especially some songs called Untouchables Part 1 and Part 2. It's my like favorite songs at the moment. And I also listen to a lot of like different progressive metal bands like Pain of Salvation, Symphony X, Dream Theater, Ark. I mean, there's a ton of different bands to mention, obviously. But the past years I've been listening to a lot of melodic dubstep, like Illenium. He has a really nice track called Superhero. We listen to that track a lot when I drive my daughter to her horse sessions. And Said Sky is also another favorite. So a lot of like melodic dubstep music because melodic. It's melodic. I listen to a lot of melodic stuff. And obviously Sting. I really like a lot of Sting albums. And Phil Collins, Elton John. So there's some old stuff and some more new music. Let's see if we had some more questions. Life is short. Eat what you can. Yes, dude. Where is Pad Shop in Logic or Groove Agent in Logic or Spectral Layers? Well, you have other types of instruments in Logic that does similar things. you have pad shop, you basically have the alchemy synth in Logic, and you also have this kind of shuffle application, shuffle plugin that can shuffle around your grooves, which is yeah. There's a lot of different plugins in Logic Pro. That's actually super sweet. Oh, laid off from Disney. What were your occupation at Disney? Kevin Hopp. Sad to hear about the layoffs. It's a lot of layoffs all over the, all around here in the games industry and yeah, basically every industry. Graham ATG, you work at a home computer-based non-music thing and ended up doing any music, not doing any music. So you just recently started doing a strict 1 hour per day on music, and it sort of works. Yeah, it's a really good practice to get your like sit down and actually take the time to do things. That's what you have to do. So if you decide to do maybe 1 hour per day or 1 hour every second day or whatever, as long as you decide on something and try to stick to it, and I mean, as long as you show up, even if you don't do anything on the first 3 sessions, maybe something comes up on the 4th session, but it's sad. It's such a like performing demand on like performing these days, and there's always like the need for something to be produced all the time. But in my opinion, it's a sad evolution, so to speak, because it can be all fine just to sit and play, because that also gives something. I mean, it gives your soul rest and time to meditate and recover. And recovery is also very important, especially for creative work. You need that recovery to come back and be great again, so to speak, and come back and come up with ideas. You need to rest to be able to perform, so to speak. But it really helps to like stick to the plan. That's I do the same thing, especially since I'm working with producing courses and producing music and sound packs and sounds and whatever. So you really have to stick to the plan. Get up in the morning, drive the kids to the school, get into the crunch, create your courses, create your music or whatever. So stick to the plan. Set up some goals. Not just the goals in the things you're going to produce, but goals that I'm going to sit down 1 hour every second day or every Friday evening or Saturday evening or what it might be suitable for your schedule. So decide on a schedule and try to stick to it, because great things are going to come from that. Even if it's not like produced great things, but it might be something like that you just Yeah, so this is just a pure improvisation, just fooling around here. But I just want to show that you don't always have to like produce something. You can always just enjoy the moment and have fun with your instrument and play around. And I do that a lot because to me music is fulfilling, and that leads us directly to the next question, which is on AI. And this is Kevin Rosén from Instagram, which wanted me to talk a little bit about AI today. And yeah, let's see. AI, friend or foe? What do you feel? What's your feeling on the current AI situation? There's obviously a lot of like talk around the legal aspects of AI and the legal aspects of using or not using AI in music production or any type of like creative work. Because as you've probably seen, especially today, there was like a super big, plenty of super big like AI announcements in different areas. You have like new AI movie generating models, and I think it was you have some AI model taking over that can control your computer. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh. Say hi to my mother in the background. Ja.
Bye, bye.
Ja, du kan åka, det går bra. What's your advice about creative burnout? How do you deal with it? Yeah, we all get into like creative down spirals, but you have to realize that life is always ups and downs. You will have down times, and then you will have up times. But it's very easy to get caught up in that like down spiral and only see like and only see the darkness. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think that's where the resting part comes into play. Because if you rest, you gain internal momentum, so to speak, spiritual momentum to come back and make good things. And that's why it's always good to take some breaks and just don't overwork yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to like making stuff. Like I said earlier, it's sad that the society has come to it's so much about like productivity and just producing and putting out stuff and overworking yourself. Life isn't just work. It's also about having fun, doing fun stuff, and doing stuff for yourself and your own like spiritual, your own spirit. Yeah, I use ChatGPT quite frequently for tasks and copyright tasks and all kinds of different tasks. Especially for coding, it's been a great like instrument to enhance and be more productive in the developments. Because you can like start writing a line of code, and then the AI realizes what you're trying to do, and then it suggests like 20 lines of code or 15 lines of code on the solution. And it might be very similar to the solution that you were about to introduce in the code, because it's read your prior code, so it the AI understands what you're trying to achieve. So it's definitely a really great tool for coding, and I believe it's going to be the same in music production and like any type of work. So if the AI sees that what kind of music you're about to make, it can make suggestions for you, and then it's up to you if you want to follow along with these suggestions or not. As the same as with in the coding, as I can just delete or not accept these changes that the AI want to do to code. Yes, I'm using Copilot and also Cursor. You can see I have the Cursor application down here, and I can highly recommend Cursor above a Copilot because it gives you a lot better. It gives you a lot better, like coding ideas, and it's more streamlined and built into the application, so to speak. It's basically Cursor is basically VS Code, but with a lot more options for AI instantly built into the application. I think it's like a branch of VS Code. But it's going to be the same to like movie making and any type of creative work, basically. It's not just coding, but we're going to see it in all types of like creative work. And then some people, we have a few different camps here. Some sees AI as evil, but and some sees AI as just like the godsend. To me, it's a Pandora's box because it's already open, and now when it's open, we're never going to go back. I mean, when we have these tools to, and since we're working in a society-driven, an economic-driven society, it's extremely hard to go back when the companies find tools to help them grow even further and diminish their costs and just grow further. Isomatic, try out Cursor. Download the application. I think it's a 2-week like free usage. It seems we're getting some lags here in the streaming. Maybe I've been streaming too long. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I missed some question here. Yeah, so we talked about the creative burnout. So we need rest to get back from creative burnouts or to prevent creative burnouts. Personally, I go for like joggings, running rounds every once in a while, and I do a lot of like weightlifting. Not too much this past year because it's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life here the last year, but hopefully I can get back into the weightlifting a little bit more because it's been very good for this old 46-year-old body. Yeah, I also think that we will always need some kind of human touch to especially for stuff that humans will digest. We will need some kind of human touch. But as we can see with both the latest like video generating models and like Midjourney, I use a lot of Midjourney for generating like background images and like covers for albums and singles and stuff. It's like unbeatable for like creative inspiration and concepting. And that's probably one of the reasons why I see a lot of layoffs in like concept arts and the gaming industry. And I mean, if you can generate a model, 3D model with like a full bone structure and everything in like seconds compared to making it in Blender or Maya or some other 3D application, because those things takes a lot of time. So I bet in the near future we're gonna see like maybe games like GTA or first-person shooters which is going to be rendered in real time with like, natural graphics. Davide Hagmonster, welcome, whoop whoop, 50k indeed, 50k indeed, yeah. Salute. Stuart Herzog, a lot of music apps are focused on keyboards and keyboarding. What advice do you have for non-keyboardists? My advice is at least to learn a little bit of at least working in the piano roll. Of course, it's gonna be a huge benefit because I mean it's created like laid out like a keyboard, vertically obviously, but it really helps a lot to learn just a little bit of like keyboard playing, maybe some basic like chord playing or whatever. You don't have to be like a virtuoso to compose music with a computer. You can enter the notes like this and decide later if it's good or bad. We missed that top note. Yeah, just doing some fun stuff here. But I feel that, I mean, yeah, of course, they are mostly made, all these piano rolls in whatever DAW that you go into, they are focused on the keyboard layout for composing. But I mean, you can always, if you like working more with audio, you can just ignore the MIDI side of the DAW and work with audio instead. And yeah, that's also one way to work. And sometimes, I mean, I make full tracks, sometimes purely with audio mostly, or convert all the stuff to audio, even like drum sounds, instead of having them like programmed in a drum application. In Bitwig we have something called the drum machine, which you can see it's like a traditional drum machine, but instead you can always work with samples instead, which is another way of composing, like searching for a kick. And that's also a way of working. 4 on the floor. Let's go to the favorites and see what we get. Yeah, so that's a few different ways to work, but you're obviously going to come down to the piano roll if you want to work with MIDI, because that's the MIDI information. It's note information. Per keyboard. Very happy that you like my content, Hugmonster. We're from, by the way, Davey. Super. Oh, I can't even pronounce that, but Super. Let's call you Super. 50k subscribers is amazing. Since when are you on here? Do you mean for this live stream, or do you mean for how long I've been on YouTube? We talked about it earlier here in the live stream, so if you want to like see my analytics for the time, the views during time, you can check out earlier in the live stream. Yeah, it seems it's a little bit, it was a little bit laggy for a while, but yeah, hopefully it gets better. So just roll back and look at the analytics if you want to see the statistics for the channel growth, so to speak. So you can see how the channel have grown from year to year until we now reached 50k subscribers. And hopefully we can continue to grow. Again, as always, keep commenting on my videos, because that really helps the algorithm here on YouTube to find out about my videos and share them to more people. It's all about the engagement on the videos and obviously also watch time. So if you don't have much to do some days, please just fire away some of my videos and let them play in the background, because that always helps. Right, so what's the time? 21:54. Yeah, we also had some questions from Zeus 1117 on remixing, my approach to remixing. And yeah, I don't remix too much these days, but my approach is often decide if you want to use the original vocals, the vocal stem, or if you're going to like re-record the whole track and make a totally different like remix arrangement. Because if you're going to use a sample from an original recording, there's a lot of like legal issues, legal things to think about, and you need to look up like mechanical publishing clearance, legal clearances. Okay, so we're gonna cut down for tonight. I'm gonna catch you later. We have to close down. See you in a future video or live stream.